Addiction is one of the most deeply misunderstood experiences of the human mind. For generations, it has been framed as a moral failure, a lack of discipline, or a conscious decision to choose pleasure over responsibility. But psychology and neuroscience reveal a far more uncomfortable truth. Addiction is not about bad choices. It is about a brain that learned how to survive under pressure and then could not forget the lesson. What looks like self-destruction from the outside is, inside the mind, an attempt to regulate pain, fear, and emotional overload. Addiction rarely begins with chaos or loss. It begins quietly, almost invisibly, with relief. Relief from anxiety that never rests, from sadness that feels endless, from loneliness that no one sees, from memories that refuse to stay buried. A substance, behavior, or habit offers a moment of peace where the mind finally slows down and the body exhales. For someone who has lived in emotional tension for years, that moment feels profound. The brain is designed to remember experiences that reduce suffering, and it stores them deeply, tagging them as solutions rather than dangers. At the center of addiction lies the brain's reward system. This system evolved to keep humans alive by reinforcing behaviors essential to survival: eating, bonding, learning, and achieving. Dopamine is not a pleasure chemical as it is often described. It is a motivation signal. It tells the brain, "This matters. Remember this." Addictive substances and behaviors overwhelm this system by releasing dopamine in amounts far greater than natural rewards ever could. The brain does not understand consequences or morality. It understands intensity. When something produces an extreme dopamine response, the brain elevates its importance, even if it leads to harm. The first encounter with addiction often feels transformative. Emotional pain dulls, intrusive thoughts quiet, self-criticism fades, and for the first time in a long while, the person feels functional or even whole. That experience becomes a reference point etched into memory. The brain learns that this substance or behavior solved a problem, and learning is one of the brain's strongest abilities. The next time stress or pain appears, the brain automatically recalls the solution it once found before conscious thought has a chance to intervene. As use continues, the brain begins to adapt. To protect itself from constant overstimulation, it reduces dopamine sensitivity. This process, tolerance, changes everything. What once felt powerful now feels weak. What once brought relief now barely works. The person increases use not to chase pleasure, but to escape discomfort. Addiction quietly shifts from desire to necessity. Brief pause. At this stage, the individual is no longer seeking happiness. They are trying to avoid emotional collapse. Over time, addiction reshapes priorities, values, and identity. The brain begins to treat the addictive substance or behavior as essential for survival. Logical thinking weakens. Long-term goals lose urgency. Relationships strain. This is why addiction can coexist with guilt, shame, and self-awareness. A person may fully understand the damage being done and still feel unable to stop. Shame does not cure addiction. It deepens it by increasing emotional pain, which the brain then tries to escape again. This cycle is not weakness, it is conditioning. Trauma plays a powerful role in many addictions. Childhood neglect, emotional abandonment, abuse, chronic stress, Unresolved grief or persistent loneliness can leave the nervous system in a constant state of threat. When a brain grows up without safety, it learns to seek relief wherever it can find it. Addiction becomes a form of self-medication, a way to regulate emotions when healthier tools were never taught or never available. In this context, addiction is not the core problem, it is a symptom of deeper wounds. Condemning the behavior without addressing the pain only reinforces the cycle. When a person attempts to quit, the brain reacts with alarm. Dopamine levels crash, stress hormones surge, and the nervous system enters survival mode. Anxiety spikes, sleep breaks down, irritability rises, and cravings feel overwhelming. This is withdrawal, not weakness. The brain interprets the absence of the addictive substance as danger. Every signal inside the body urges restoration, even when the conscious mind wants change. This is why quitting feels less like choice and more like fighting one's own biology. Relapse is often misunderstood as failure, but psychologically it is part of recovery. Neural pathways strengthened through repetition do not disappear overnight. The brain must be given time, safety, and consistency to weaken old pathways and form new ones. Recovery is not about punishment or willpower alone. It is about retraining the brain through structure, emotional regulation, connection, and meaning. Each attempt at recovery teaches the brain something new, even when it does not succeed immediately. The hopeful truth is that the brain is remarkably adaptable. With time and support, dopamine systems can recover, emotional regulation can stabilize, cravings can lose their intensity, self-trust can slowly return, identity can be rebuilt. But true recovery requires more than abstinence. It requires replacing what addiction once provided: relief, comfort, control, belonging, and purpose. Without these, the brain will always remember the old escape. Gentle pause, warm expression. Addiction does not mean a person is broken. It means their brain learned a powerful lesson under painful circumstances, and anything learned can be unlearned. Healing does not begin with judgment or fear. It begins with understanding, not with shame, but with compassion. Steady gaze. Because the opposite of addiction is not simply sobriety. It is reconnection with life, with others, and with oneself. Subscribe to my channel for more about you.